Hi, my name is Bob Brennaman. I'm a realtor here in Charleston, South Carolina. Today we're going to sit down and talk to some clients that I helped move here this summer from Seattle, Washington, and they're Boeing relocation couple, Ben and Megan. I hope you enjoy their conversation with me. Tell me a little bit about what attracted you guys to Charleston. I know you ended up through Boeing relocation, ended up coming here, but how did you pick Charleston? Because I know a lot of Boeing relocation people that I've talked to get other options. Talk about how you determined Charleston.
Really, once we decided to start having a family, we really wanted to get back to the East Coast because we lived on the West Coast for about 10 years and all of our families on this side of the U.S. So that was the main important thing, coming back to the East Coast.
And y'all were in Seattle, right?
Yep.
We were. And we were also really attracted to Charleston because it is such a beautiful place. We heard the people were absolutely wonderful here and kind, and that has been our experience so much. And we're beach people.
Yeah.
We really love the beach, and so it has a little bit of everything for us.
And how long does it take y'all to get from the beach from here? Only just on average?
15 minutes?
Maybe 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Wonderful.
So talk to me. I know when y'all moved out here, you were living in temporary housing. Kind of talk about the challenges of moving a small child and, you know, all your stuff out this way from across the country.
Yeah, that was very difficult. Anytime you have a small child, it's all about having that consistency. And I think the biggest thing was us finding a home so that we could provide that stability for her and sort of get back into our routine and have things be consistent.
Yeah, it puts a little more pressure on, trying to find that place. You don't have as much breathing room because you really just want to get that schedule down.
So it definitely can be stressful. I think a lot of times people get blindsided by the stress of moving, and then it just adds to the anxiety of the whole equation.
Yep.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So, along those same lines, what sort of advice would you give people that are moving, across the country or from Atlanta here with a small child?
One of the main things is that the internet is a great tool and to do research ahead of time. One thing we were really focused on was finding the right pediatrician. So finding groups online to ask opinions and get recommendations on that specifically, which we found a great one.
The beauty of the internet age now is that you can do so much research, as Ben was suggesting, and also trying to find groups, activities, just sort of getting a feel of what the neighborhood is going to be like beforehand. Your videos were absolutely paramount for us moving, honest to God, because we had never been to Charleston before, ever. Never, ever visited, and we took a leap of faith, and your videos, they just made I don't know, it was such a great representation of what Mount Pleasant is, as well as the Charleston area. So we felt very confident and comfortable because we knew some of the things like having the beach, having access to good food and good health care, that would be a great fit. And then just seeing it sealed the deal.
Well, I know we did talk about some other areas around Charleston, but I mean, Mount Pleasant seems to be the right fit for y'all.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Mount Pleasant, I've never heard of a town that is named so appropriately as Mount Pleasant because people are so pleasant here. It's an absolute dream. We had a housewarming party and our entire neighborhood came. They brought us food and gifts, and we've never even met them before, and they were so welcoming and made us feel absolutely at home immediately.
Yeah. I think the other thing about Mount Pleasant that we looked at was the reputation of all the schools. So when the baby gets to that age and it's time for school, we really wanted to plan ahead for that.
Definitely. Yeah, so the schools are great here, the proximity to the beach. Proximity to downtown is incredible. It takes probably 30 minutes maximum. I hardly feel like I have to leave Mount Pleasant. It is a little perfect bubble. Grocery stores, there are so many of them. From the Whole Foods to Walmart and everything in between, clothing stores, furniture stores. We could not be happier. It's such a good fit for us.
We'll talk about Dunes West. I mean, that's where we're sitting today. I mean, of all the neighborhoods we looked in, obviously you end up buying here, and we're sitting in a great house on a beautiful lot, one of my favorite lots. What about Dunes West attracted you, and are you getting to use some of the amenities yet?
Yeah, I think the thing that attracted us, at first we were a little nervous because it's further out on Highway 41. But after we moved in, I think every day we pull in through the gates. Being a gated community and having that extra little level of security makes us feel good. And we just pull in and we feel so at home. We think it's beautiful here. We did join the country club to use the amenities. The pools are great. Just you feel like you're at a resort. And the walking trails, there's miles of trails all over, so we try to walk at least once a day and make use of that.
But it's really great, yeah. I mean, we joined the country club. You probably just heard the school bus just went by. There's actually stops right by our house, which is going, and for the future, having the family, it's right here. The bus stop is, you're not gonna go really far for that. And it's such a easygoing. Anyone that we interact with here, I think, again, that's the biggest thing for me, is the interactions with everyone is so wonderful, whether it's in Dunes West or out in Mount Pleasant. But
they organize activities, part of the club. They
do.
They had a fine art event, and then they have pool party days and things like that we try to attend. And they have at the restaurant date night, which we haven't got the chance to go to yet, but we're planning on hitting that up one of these times.
And I actually started a mommy group here in Dunes West.
Cool.
Yeah, a new mom support group. So that's really great. It's just right out of the gates where I contacted the coordinators of the country club, and they were very happy and engaged in the ideas of going forward with that. So just the fact that you can come into a new community where you're a new member and be so embraced it's remarkable. It's home.
So y'all, I mean, so you feel like long term this is going to be a place where you stay and where you raise the kids.
Definitely.
Yeah, definitely. At least Mount Pleasant in general, and we're loving Dunes West. So.
We are loving Dunes West. Yeah. I mean, it's even like Ben said, the drive. You drive back, and it's just you go through the gates, and I don't know. There's just a relief and just a sense of home and like we belong. I don't know, I love it. It's hard to describe, I think, actually, to put into words. It's hard not to be happy when you come home to this house and property.
So do you play golf?
I have not yet.
I have not played golf.
He has clubs.
I have to get out.
There's some big gator who's on hole number 8 or something. The big, what is his name? Big Head. Yeah, they have a nickname for him, Big Head. We actually have a gator in our pond too.
That's what I was going to ask you about. So you've got a pond over there, and you obviously have a fence that separates the house from the pond. You see them out there, but you haven't seen one in your yard yet.
Right. We were very nervous about that, and definitely you put our mind to ease. And it's funny, the more that you live here, the more acclimated you get to the wildlife. When you don't live in the South, when you don't live where the natural habitat of alligators, if you're not used to that, they're very intimidating. I mean, this is a prehistoric creature that's like, chomp, gonna eat you. But it's not really like that. They actually just sit on the bank and they're just kind of mind their own business. And not that they couldn't come onto your property, but it's not like a cat in California, like the big cats in California that stalk your property. Aggressive. Yeah, it's not aggressive. They just sort of sit over there.
We had some visitors in from Pennsylvania and from Seattle, and I was so excited that when they came, the gator was out by the pond, and was like, "Come on, we got to go see the gator. You're official. You saw a gator while you were in South Carolina."
Yeah, people generally are very excited to see.
Very excited. I get disappointed when he's not sitting.
Well, wintertime's coming, and he'll go away, or at least he'll go dormant for a while.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah, you won't see him during the wintertime for the most part.
Yeah.
Ben, obviously you're working at Boeing. You're driving there every day. Talk about that drive, because it's a big question people ask about.
No, the commute is very manageable. I go right out the back exit and jump on Clements Ferry and head right to work. It takes about 25 to 30 minutes in the morning, and it seems to take longer in the afternoon because you have to walk so far to your car at Boeing. The parking is always, it's massive, the parking lot and everything, but commute's manageable. If you lived in the Seattle area, for example, and you had to drive this far, it would take more than twice as long.
All right, that wraps up our conversation with Ben and Megan for today. If you have any questions about real estate, schools, restaurants, anything related to the Charleston, South Carolina area, please feel free to give me, Bob Brennaman, a call at 843-345-6074, or you can always reach me on the web at charlestonproperty.net. Thanks so much, y'all.